Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today is Monday, August 1st, and I am gonna start my first weekly reading vlog because I have some reading vlogs in my channel, 37 to be specific, but they are all like around either a specific book or specific books in a series or like a few books of the same genre, and it's just talking about those books. But I really like watching weekly reading vlogs where people just talk about all the books they are reading in that week and just show what is happening. So I'm gonna do that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it every week, but I'll do it at least some weeks. And it's not like my life is super exciting, but actually this is my mom's vacation month, so she will surely drag me out of the house, so stuff will be happening. And also we are going on holiday next week, so that will be fun too. And in my other reading vlogs, they have kind of, I have notes. I know what I have to say. For these ones, I'm not gonna have any notes. I'm just gonna have my brain, which, admittedly is not much, but that's how it's gonna happen. And so basically yesterday I finished 2 books because it was the end of the month and I wanted them for my wrap up. And those were the Starless Crown and the Hoth King, which is book 3 in the Books of Babel series. And so now this week I am gonna start the 4th book, which is The Fall of Babel. And I have started Crossroads of Twilight, the 10th book in the Wheel of Time series, but have I really started? Because I'm on page 13 out of 30,000, out of 660. So have I really started? No. Also, when I read this, I was super sleepy, so I don't think my brain even processed what was happening in the book because I remember nothing. So that's are some of my reading plans, but I also want to start an audiobook because I want to have something to listen to when I'm like drawing or doing something. And I downloaded two, I think, audiobooks last week, and I don't know which one to start. One of them is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, and the other is The Recovery Agent. I think they are both thrillers. And also yesterday I remembered the Truly Devious series, which is also a mystery thriller thing. And I read the first 2 books months ago, and I haven't gotten to the 3rd yet. And I did really like the first 2, so I don't know why I haven't gotten to the 3rd yet. And I don't even remember the title of it. I think it's something about a box. Okay, actually, the one about the box is the 4th one, not the 3rd. And it's The Box in the Woods, but the 3rd is The Hand on the Wall. So I don't know if I have the audiobook for that, but if I do, I might start that. I do have it. It's 8 hours and 36 minutes. So I will start one of those mysteries, thrillers, whatever. I don't know which one yet. Also, I have like between 20 and 30 ebooks downloaded on my laptop and like 5 or 6 on my phone. But I am terrible at reading ebooks and I don't know why. But if I'm either like not absolutely in love with the book, or if I don't like have to read it for a video or something, I will not read it. And I don't know why I struggle so much reading ebooks, but I do. So I probably will not be reading one of those. But anyway, those are the reading plans. We'll see what I end up reading. it's Thursday and I have just finished filming my video for tomorrow, which is why I have makeup on. And before we get into what books I have read, I just want to say that like the other day, I removed over 500 books from my Goodreads TBR. I don't remember exactly how many books it was, but I told my friends, so I'm gonna find it in our chat. 556, because I had 799 books in my TBR in Goodreads, and that was just ridiculous. And some of them, like, I was looking at the list, and some of them I didn't even remember ever seeing in my life. And others I just added because I heard someone talking about them, but in reality, I knew I would never read them because they're not my, like, the kind of books I tend to read. So I just removed 556. And I still have 243, which is still a lot, but I feel like it's less ridiculous, so I feel a lot better. Also, yesterday I found out about the prequel of The Priory of the Orange Tree, like that is gonna come out at some point, and I absolutely loved The Priory of the Orange Tree. I read it not long ago and I gave it 5 stars, and I like absolutely loved it. I was obsessed with it. It was 800 pages and I just read it surprisingly quickly for how long it was, and so I am so excited for that book. And also something else I'm very excited for is the fact that I convinced my mom to watch Stranger Things, because I have been telling her that I want her to watch it, but she doesn't like stuff with monsters, and obviously Stranger Things has monsters. So I don't know if she's gonna continue to watch it, because we've only watched the first 2 episodes and there are no monsters in the first 2 episodes. Like, they don't appear, but when they do, I'm not sure she will continue to want to watch it, but so far we're doing it and I am very happy. But anyway, moving on to the books. I am gonna start with Crossroads of Twilight because I don't have a lot to say about it. I am on page 114, and that means I'm like gonna start chapter 3 because the prologue was 80 pages long and the first chapter was 20, which, 20 is okay. 80 is not reasonable. That is just not a reasonable amount of pages for a chapter. But anyway, like, I don't have a lot to say because not a lot has happened. Like, there was one thing in the prologue that I was like, ooh, that's cool. But like one thing in 80 pages. And then like we did start the first chapter, not the prologue, but like once we got to the chapters, we did start with my favorite character. So like I am happy to be following him, but so far not a lot has happened. But I've only read the prologue and 2 chapters, so I wasn't expecting that much to happen, especially because this book is still supposed to be one of the slower ones. So I really don't have a lot to say, except for the fact that I'm happy to be following that character, but I want more. Moving on to The Fall of Babel. In this one, I am on page 200. Yeah, and I just finished part 1, so I'm gonna go into part 2. And before we get into any of my thoughts, I just want to say that this book has a like ridiculously small font. Like the other ones had a small font when compared to other books, but this one is smaller even, and I struggle to read. Like, I do actually struggle. And also the other books in the series were so floppy, like they're right here. And this one was like the less floppy out of the other 3, but it was still very floppy. And this one, because like it's bigger, it's not floppy, and that makes me very sad. But anyway, that has nothing to do with the plot, and I am actually really enjoying it. We start the book with a character that I have been wanting to follow because he was not in the previous book, so we started with him and I was very excited to see what he was up to. And like I was very confused because like things were kind of being explained to him, but when you're talking to someone that already knows like kind of knows what you're talking about, so you don't really explain in any detail. You just mention what is happening. The other person's like, oh yeah, I got it. Like, that's how they were talking to him. And he had no idea what they were talking about. And I have no idea what they were talking about. So I was just very confused, but also very intrigued. And then when we found out what was happening, like, I wish we hadn't, because it was horrible. So yeah, that is happening. And then we found some more horrible things out. And then they kind of had a plan to fix it. But the plan was risky from the start. And yeah, like, this was insane. It was like, we learned a lot of horrible things. Like, it wasn't the fastest paced book ever. I mean, part ever, because this whole series is very character driven, not very fast paced, but I am loving it. And like, this character that we're following was my least favorite out of the main characters, even though I still like him. Like, I like all the others more, but I actually really love him now, because I feel like we didn't really get to know him that much before, and now I've gotten to know him a lot better, and I love him. He's precious. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And also, I feel like this series would be so good in, like, turned into a movie or a TV show, because like, all the visuals in my head are so good, so it would just look so good. Yeah, that's all I have to say for now. And so the other book, I was still debating on what to read when I started the video, and then you must have seen that I decided to go with In My Dreams I Hold the Knife, and I am on 72% of that. And basically, in this book, we are following some characters that are reuniting, I think 10 years after they finished college. And when they were in college, one of their friends in their friend group was murdered, and no one ever like found out who murdered her. And so we are following the two different timelines, in the past and the present. And as always, I am preferring the timeline of the past. But basically, like, we have gone through several like suspects, and we are now at the point where it seems like they have figured out what happened, but I am only on 72%, and I have like around 3 hours left of the audiobook, I think. So I'm guessing that is not what happened, and I am really liking it so far. I feel like none of the characters are very likable, but I don't think they could be for this type of story. So I don't like their characters, but I like following them. And especially the main character. She's definitely not great, but neither are most of her friends. But I mean, they are like very flawed, but humans are flawed, so I guess they are very accurate to real people. And yeah, I am really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying to see like the different pieces coming together, because with every suspect, like, it made sense for them to be the killer, but then they weren't. And now in the suspect we are with right now, that seems like the most plausible suspect, I'm guessing it's not gonna be them either, because like I said, I still have 3 hours of the audiobook to go. But I am really enjoying it. It is thrilling, and yeah, I will definitely finish it before the end of the week, and so I will give my final thoughts about it then. And I don't know what else I'm gonna do this week, honestly, because I was gonna go with a friend to a medieval thing, but we are not going anymore because her sister actually cannot go, so we are not going, and that was gonna be on Sunday. So I don't really know what else I'm gonna do. I guess I'm gonna read, but I will update either way on Sunday. So it's Sunday, and honestly, I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I am gonna try to be quick because actually, I'm after all going to the medieval thing with my friend, and I will stay over sleeping at her house, which is why I'm filming this in the morning because I won't really be reading anymore today, and I need to leave the house in a bit. So let's just do this thing. So I finished In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, and like I thought, we had another plot twist, another reveal, and actually we got a different plot twist in literally like the one of the last paragraphs of the book. So that was fun. And I mean, I kind of knew that was coming because I feel like since the beginning of the book, it was hinted at like that plot twist. So it wasn't really, that shocking. But I still really enjoyed the book. And like I said, all the characters were not great people. They were all kind of unlikable, but I guess that was the point. And I think that this story needed those kinds of characters. So I enjoyed that anyway, despite not liking any of the characters. And also, I continue to like the past chapters more than the present ones. But towards the end, the present ones actually did get a lot more interesting because we learned a lot more in these present chapters towards the end of the book. So I really enjoyed this one. I will probably give it 4 stars. I feel like I've been giving all the thrillers I've been reading recently 4 stars, but honestly, they have all been 4 stars for me. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that one. Next, let's talk about Crossroads of Twilight. So I am on page 222, which means I've read about a third of this book. And after my previous update, we got only one more chapter with my favorite character, which was honestly sad, but not that sad because then we've moved on to my second favorite character. And actually, I enjoyed his chapters more. My favorite is Matt, my second favorite is Perrin, if you know the series. So I actually enjoyed Perrin's chapters more because even though he wasn't really doing much, like what he's doing is not my favorite part of his story. I don't know, I just feel like more happened, or at least like what they were talking about was more interesting. And also we got like a new information about the wolves, and that was impactful personally to me. So that happened, and yeah, I am not loving this, but I think I'm actually liking it more than the previous one, which was my least favorite in the whole series, so that's a good thing. And like I said, not a lot is happening, but I am not fully mad about it. And lastly, for The Fall of Babel, I am on page 397, and we are following like a bunch of characters now because in part 1 we followed only Adam, and now we are following Volita and Edith and Iran and Maria and Byron and Redelman and Anne, and I think that's it. So we are following a lot of characters and a lot is happening. And there have been a few fight scenes that are incredible, so I am loving that. I am not loving, however, the fact that, like, I feel like every single character I like is in danger, so that is not, fun. But the book overall, I am having a lot of fun with. Also, like, at the end of this book, there is a list of all, like, the levels of the tower, and, like, its name and personal notes and experts from a captain of a ship. And I'm gonna read you the like funnier ones because there are some that really made me laugh. So level 2, which is the parlor, and then it says the part that is like common name, personal notes, and exports. It says maniacs and frauds, exports, eyeballs. Then level 11, ginst, unfriendly, exports, certainly not charity. Level 14, the cistern, flies a plague flag, exports plague, presumably. Level 17, Boscopia, aggressively unremarkable, exports yawns. Level 23, Rasanadra, House of Heel Repute exports syphilis. Level 26, Japhet, Royals, Guards and Gold, exports Hanged Man. Level 28, Asteria, Solicitors and Notaries, exports legal fees. Level 29, The Bull, Mid Bull, Central Market, exports all. And level 40, Tarsus, Investment Houses and Banks, exports debt. And finally, level 41, Fel Kies, Mortuary and Morgue, exports used clothes. So that was fun, and like I said, I am loving this book. It might be my favorite in the series, even though I really also loved the previous book and book 1. Book 2 was my least favorite, but I am absolutely loving this. There is a lot of action. We are also getting a lot of answers, but still a lot of questions, so I am still waiting for all my questions to be answered. And like I said, all the characters that I like are in danger, some in like opposite sides of the conflict to each other, and also like literally in the last chapter that I read, someone that I hate showed up, so that is not great, and I am nervous, and I would continue to read if I didn't have to leave the house, but I do, so that is it. And so I read 390 pages of this one. I read 209 pages from this one, and in my Dreams I Hold the Knife was 345 pages. So in this week and this vlog, I read 951 pages. And yeah, like I said, I won't really be reading any more because I won't be home. I mean, I might like either listen to an audiobook, a new one, or read an ebook of either of these on the train, but regardless, I won't be reading that much. So this is everything I read this week, and this is everything for this weekly reading vlog, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!